Welcome to TLC, the live chat.
Oh, you guys, man, you have lost it.
All right, okay. Welcome to TLC, the live chat.
Where real talk meets real life. I'm Tina.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Cassie. Nothing's off limits. Expect deep chats, belly laughs, and a few wait, what moments.
It's unfiltered, unapologetic, and all heart. If you can do this, you've got this.
It's live.
Okay, so we're going now more in depth. We're going to start interviewing one another just about their journeys, our entrepreneurial businesses, how we got there. Lauren's up with her journey and the way she came to be doing what she's doing. Eco Play, her work with children and health and well-being. So we're going to get into how that all began.
Okay, thanks. So let me say this was not the plan this morning, so now I'm all over the place and I don't know what I'm going to say, but we'll see how this goes.
You got this.
You know what? This episode is good, and it's going to be so good to listen to each other's journeys, because we have had times in our life where we have been separated, doing on different paths, and we're back on in the same sphere at the moment. So to see where each other started and to actually have a look at our own journeys and think about what that has been, what the timeline is. Like, when's the last time you actually sat and thought, wow, where did all this begin?
Yeah, never. And now I'm freaking out.
Here. Yeah, that's right.
I don't like talking about myself. I wanted to start with one of you girls. But okay, we're here now. And we're in the Eco Play therapy room, so it's quite fitting, isn't it?
So we're up on Lauren's property, which is absolutely beautiful. Acreage on top of the hill. She's got a small hobby farm with many beautiful animals on it, and she'll go into that. But it's so fitting that we're talking about that today and interviewing Lauren. And let's get into it.
Interviewing Lauren. All right. So I have to try and think about how Eco Play started. So I think I've talked about I work in the school and I work in the kindy, sometimes the OSH, after school care. So I've been working with children for 20 years. A couple of times in the last probably 10 years, the OSH and the school have brought their kids up here, which is really good because they don't need to catch a bus because you can just walk up here. It is a steep hill, so the kids are all tired and whinging when they get up here, but it's easy to get back down to school and kindy. But it's a relatively cheap or free excursion because they just walk, so you don't need a bus. A class came up 5 or 6 years ago, and one of the teachers was very encouraging and loved what I have up here and said, you should do this for a business. You've got something special up here. You could offer something. Nature Play was coming about around that time. So Nature Play SA is a organisation in South Australia. I don't know how long they've been around. I've been to a couple of their conferences. But there's not a lot of people doing what's getting bigger now, but there wasn't a lot of people offering Nature Play. Nature Play sounds a bit crazy. You're basically just playing outside in nature, but apparently
They've been around at least since Molly was born, because I used to take her to some mud days and things when she was toddler.
Yeah, I love Nature Play.
Yeah, that's the good thing, because there's so many children that are brought up in suburbia and they don't have relatives with properties, or they just don't get the opportunity to play in nature, basically, apart from, your parks and the school playground. But that's a bit different to being sort of out with animals and making mud pies and all that sort of stuff. So it's so good that children get to do that, because it's, the world that we live in now, it's so artificial and they've got screens and look, that's part of the future and everything. But children are children. They need to make a mud pie, get dirty, not have to worry about, this world of technology. And a lot don't get that opportunity. So this is so good what you're doing, Loz. So how did you actually start Eco Play itself?
I guess I was sort of pushed into it a little bit when I found myself without a job for 6 months. And we have talked about that, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But it was something that I'd been wanting to do for a long time and just probably didn't have the courage to do or the means really to do. Wondered if I did do this, who would come? Would anybody come? Where would I get the clients from? But I just felt it. It was on my heart and I had just been thinking about it for a really long time. And yeah, so I've lived on this property for 17 years. So my kids have grown up with this kind of a lifestyle. And I do forget that that's not a typical lifestyle. Even because I live in the hills, even in my local primary school, not everybody lives on a farm or on property and not everybody gets this opportunity. And I think I forget that sometimes because that's how we grew up and that's how my kids grew up. And I think it's normal.
And particularly because we grew up like it too, right?
Yes.
So it's not as adults you moved to the hills and brought your family up. You grew up
Exactly.
in the hills yourself. So
Yeah.
you don't know any different.
No.
This has been your life.
Exactly. This has been my life. And yeah, when people come up and say, oh, this is really beautiful and you've got beautiful views or you've got something to offer here or you could do this or you could do that, I was hearing it, but I still just didn't believe in myself. But when I did go to a Nature Play SA conference back in 2016 with the kindy, I'm so grateful. Actually, I'm so grateful to the kindy that I work at because they very, very much value nature play and outdoor education and outdoor learning and just getting back to basics and kids being kids. And I worked there for 10 years. I still relieve sometimes. And they come up here now and all of the staff are my really good friends. And I think, yeah, I'm so grateful for that. But the conference I actually cried. So I went to this conference, Nature Play SA, and we were in the wine centre in Adelaide for so guest speakers came out and they spoke to us about what nature play is and the childhood crisis that we face right now, which you mentioned, screen time, kids inside, all the disorders and all the diagnoses that we're seeing on the rise. And I just sat there and listened to this guest speaker and I just cried. It really hit home that we are in a crisis right now with childhood. And
that was 2016.
That was 2016. Right? And that was the first time I had heard of Nature Play SA, but obviously it's been going a lot longer than that. I've actually written a little poem. Or maybe I'll play it after about, I might play it at the end of this. I've written a little poem about my feelings towards where we're at right now with childhood and nature play.
And can I just add that everyone has their thing and what we're drawn to. The compassion that you have for children, I just love. Like you get emotional, you care, you're so driven to give children so much opportunity, love, kindness. Like you said, there's crises. Children have things happening in the family or health problems. And just to do this and your driven passion for it is so inspiring. I just love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now I'll get emotional.
I feel like we're going to get emotional in this.
I think I am going to get emotional. I think I'm going off track. At that conference, so we were in a big hall, everyone together, listening to a few people from Australia and from around the world talk about childhood, but then particularly nature play. But it was like, I don't know, that was the pivotal moment for me with nature play and wanting to start my own business and eco play. And when kids come out here, some of the kids from my school or kindy or OSH or whatever, and now I have my own, we'll talk about the play therapy that I'm doing, but now I have my own one-to-one clients. It's surprising what you see when they come out here. These are sometimes children that in a classroom situation may not be able to focus or you may not see their best behaviour. They can't perhaps sit still. Not that children should be sitting still, but anyway, different things that you think, I wonder how they're going to be when they come up in this environment. Amazing. So happy, having the best time, just engaged, just really positive, completely different child than what you see maybe in a school setting or a preschool setting. So that's really interesting for me to see.
I wish more people could see that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Or the kids that are really struggling in the class, I just wish that anything else happened.
Yes.
Bring them out to somewhere like here.
Yeah.
And just
just running around in open spaces. And they don't have to be quiet. They can scream, they can laugh, they can just be free and just run.
You see them light up.
Yeah, absolutely.
that
little
just is
spark
what
in
you
their
wanna
eyes.
see.
And then they're tired at the end of the day, which is amazing. That's how it should be, really. Use all that energy, burn it off, go home, sleep. That's how childhood should be. That's how it was. But I don't think children are getting that opportunity to run around and burn off their energy.
I was just thinking about this not long ago. How often did we go out? We did when we were young. I remember that at school, like they would take us outside often. We'd have fitness or we'd go out for a walk somewhere, or they'd just break it up throughout the day. Now it's really structured. And even I remember they started getting rid of PE. PE was every day.
Yeah.
And now I think, do they do it once a week?
Once a week.
I think at my school they do it a couple of times a week.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. These are children, and we're sitting them in the classroom, pushed up to a desk. Of course, you've got to learn. Of course, we need education, but that's not how children just switch off.
It's just box ticking is all of this.
It is.
Yeah. But even remember science, like you would go out into the playground and observe.
Yes.
Right, theorize, observe, record. But it happened in the playground, out in actual nature.
And a lot of excursions, I thought.
Yes.
Because I know these days in schools that you might get 1 or 2 excursions a year. I feel like we were always out.
Is that because
on
it was a country
excursions.
school, though?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that's so valuable, those hands-on practical experiences.
Were you at Fairwood Primary when we even planted all them trees?
Yes.
Coming in?
Yes. We
I
used
got
to leave
frostbite
the
that day.
school a lot, didn't we? We used to
We
leave the
did
school
leave
a
the
lot and
school
go
a lot.
for community walks. But just to see the kids out here running around, burning off energy, I'm going to go way off track. I think a lot of the childhood crisis, which I'm tackling a little bit here too, I try to as best I can, is the diet.
Yes.
So we have a vegetable garden here and the kids help me plant and harvest and then we cook. So whether it's my groups that come up, so if it's the kindy or the school or whatever, we will make a soup or a fruit salad or something like that. And everybody is involved and then we sit around the campfire or whatever and share it. That's funny
So
because you'll have kids, you'll be chopping up vegetables for a soup. Ooh, I hate zucchini. Oh, disgusting carrots. Don't put that in there. I'm not going to eat it. And I just say, oh, look, when it's all in together and all blended up and mixed in with the stock and the salt and pepper and the water, it turns into something really magical. And trust me, you're going to love it. It's the most delicious soup you're ever going to try. You don't get many complaints. If they go back for seconds, they go back for thirds. These are vegetables that they may never have seen, never mind tried.
just
They're
about to
so-called
say that.
fussy eaters.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Do you see children that you don't eat fruit or vegetables at school and then they come up and have a try?
Absolutely, and they love it. And I love hearing, then I go back to school or I see them, they come back and say, oh, Lauren, I've got a vegetable garden now. Or I asked my mum to buy spinach when she did her shopping because I love spinach now. It fills my bucket so much. It brings me so much joy. My one-to-one play therapy clients, they come after school. And I think you need an after school straight away when you finish school just to recharge and re-energize for whatever activities I've got planned for the afternoon. I don't give them a choice of what they're going to have. And it's just fruit, it's vegetables, it's all healthy stuff. Sometimes we cook it, sometimes I make it. But it's things that their parents may say, oh, they won't eat that. They don't like that. Guess what? They do because it's a different environment. We eat it outside. We have a picnic. It's colourful. We do rainbow platters. We try and do every colour in the rainbow. It's something different. So if that's one thing that I take away from this, that I may have encouraged kids to try different healthy foods, then I'll take that as a win.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think too, the parents will thank you because, I mean, it's hard. Your children, when they're little, you're like, just try it. Your mum, they don't want to try. So monkey see, monkey do when they're in this environment and all the kids are going in for a try, they all think, oh, I don't want to be left out. So then they may try something, oh, actually nothing. Or, zucchini or whatever it is. So like you said, how amazing, because you're now just in these small little ways making huge changes, and the parents will be going, oh my gosh, my child's started eating fruit or, asking me to buy spinach.
I hope so.
Didn't you have a kitchen garden in the kindy?
Yeah, the kindy's always been really good with growing vegetables and cooking and things like that.
How many years ago was that you started that?
At the school, my friend and I were involved in establishing a kitchen garden program. It doesn't happen at the moment, but I think we're going to slowly get it back going again. But that was another thing that I'm truly grateful for. The principal at the time wanted to do a kitchen garden program in our school. We didn't have one. And he asked if anybody was interested in running that. Of course, that's my passion. So my passion, growing vegetables, eating healthy, getting outside, getting in nature. So a kitchen garden program in a school is right up my alley. And that was amazing. And that's what I saw there, what I'm seeing here, kids who don't do cooking at home, don't have a vegetable garden at home. Weirdly, we'd get them to set tables, clean up, do dishes. So many children don't do dishes. Children did not even know the difference between a tea towel and a chucks cloth and which one you used for which. And most children, I don't do dishes. We have a dishwasher. Or I don't do dishes. My mum does dishes. Like, you know what? You're doing the dishes. They loved it.
I need to send my daughter here at 13.
And yeah, so that kitchen garden program, we would set the table, we would all sit down. And then again, that's another thing that a lot of families don't do, sit around a table and eat dinner together. I grew up sitting around a table eating dinner together. Our family sit around the table every night and eat dinner together. Again, I didn't realise how many families don't sit around a table and eat dinner together.
In our home.
Yeah. So just getting children to set the table, knives, forks, plates, cups, fill up water bottles. We'd get a little posy of flowers, like a little restaurant actually. We'd cook about 5 different courses. We'd split kids into groups. Everybody would try everything, same as what I hear here. Oh, yuck, disgusting. I'm not going to try that. I don't eat that. We just eat nuggets and chips, or, you know, I just eat macaroni cheese. That's what I eat. And suddenly you're putting a salad in front of them, a bit of soup, a bit of quiche, something like that. They go back for seconds. They go back for thirds. They ask for the recipe. So a kitchen garden program in a school is brilliant. You get it in high school, home economics, but you don't get it so much in primary school.
Depends which school. There's nothing like that. Being an inner city school, they don't even have grass to sit on.
Bizarre because it's in the curriculum. It's in the South Australian curriculum. But in the curriculum is where our food comes from and things like that. So I don't know how they're getting that without doing this. But you would assume, oh, you don't need to do that in a school because they're all doing it at home. No, they're not. Sadly, parents are working. They're busy. They're time poor. This is no one's fault. This is our society. But if you're not getting it in the home and you're not getting it in the school, where are you getting it? I know I can't save everyone, but I think that's a bit of my drive is I can offer that. I've got this space. I've got the passion. I've got the experience. I've got the skills. I can offer that. I don't know how I'm going to be able to offer this to everyone. I'm still working in a job that I love at the school, and I don't want to lose that job. I love that job. I have a family. I do a lot of things. Yeah, I also want to do this. So I don't really know how this is going to go.
Find the balance.
I'm going to have to find the balance. But yeah, I am blown away at how this has taken off and how successful it is. And I'm only now starting to believe in myself. I think it's been simmering away for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I definitely got pushed into it when I had some time off work. And what am I going to do? But then I didn't have the income because...
And then, you know, there is a lot that goes into it, insurances and
it's expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky because my husband is so supportive and he is a builder. So he's built me this amazing play therapy room, and he does so much work around the property. He rakes up pony poo. He sets up the campfire for me. It's so funny because we have a lot of animals and I keep getting more and more animals. I'm going to talk about Kenny because he's a big part of this eco play in a minute, but every time I say to Nigel, can I get more chickens or can I get this or can I get that? He's, I don't care as long as it doesn't impact me or affect me. Guess who it impacts and affects?
Definitely does.
Most every time, but he never complains. So I'm so grateful to him and my family. They've been so supportive.
One thing I was just going to say before, just going back to when the children come up and, you know, you see them light up, you know, and you're touching on children that have disabilities or, you know, ADHD or things like that. You were telling me a little while ago, you do things like you have all these, you know, tarps and you do cubby building section. So the kids all get broken into teams and then they work
recently
together?
We had a class come up where it was perfect actually. So they were learning in class about Indigenous shelter building. So the teacher brought the whole class up here and they broke up into groups and they had to use natural materials.
Children that may struggle with that concentration, suddenly they were laser focused and working in a group.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it just was
just because
so
it's engaging. And they're driving it. It's not somebody saying you need to build a structure like this and it needs to include this and you need to use this. It's right. You are out here in nature. You go out and collect and find nature and then you build a structure and you work together as a team. And it may even be children who wouldn't necessarily work well together in a team or even be friends. But suddenly, I mean, nature is an amazing thing. When you're outside, and I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like this. If I'm having a bad day or I'm a bit sad, you just get outside.
Oh, you
There's
have
something
to.
about being out in
Absolutely.
nature. So straight away, your mood is boosted when you're outside in nature. And they're free and they're creative and they're leading it. And yeah, I will try and put some photos on our Insta page or something with some of the shelters that they created because they're absolutely amazing. And then they went and had some morning tea or lunch or whatever and went back into their shelters and ate them and had little
Aw.
tea parties. And it was so cute. And their shelters extended beyond the structure to they made little campfires and some of the girls made like a little washing line and put pegs on it and
Oh,
little borders and paved areas around and things
So
like
again,
that. So
you're also helping kids develop other skills like working together and problem solving, so you're introducing them to the healthy food, the animals, then, shelter building. So you're giving them so many healthy skills in life that, yes, they do touch on certain things in the education system, but it's a entirely different thing. Really.
yeah.
It's not sitting in a classroom learning figures and all that sort of thing. It's actual life skills.
Life skills.
How many people say, and this isn't, people that are highly educated or I have so much respect, but there is a lot of graduates and that don't get this chance growing up and they don't have a lot of life skills or common sense or working to problem solve with other people. So all these little things that may be missing in the development of children growing up, you're reintroducing. We've lost that. And now you're bringing it back.
You totally need to be my spokesperson or my
yeah.
promotions
you
or
should
something.
Get into
because
marketing.
This is the thing is that I do believe in myself now. It's taken me probably to this year to believe in myself. I do think I have something pretty special. I'm probably going to toot my own horn here now. I don't like to talk about myself. I don't like to advertise and I don't like to push this. So the clients that I have come to me. I haven't gone to them.
Imagine what level this could go to
I
if
know.
you just put it out
tried
there.
to
That's
just let it
crazy.
evolve organically and just go where it needs to go, when it needs to go, as it needs to go. It's coming into fruition now, and I think that's what I love about it. I don't want to be massive. I don't want to lose my love for it and my passion for it. I mean, the things I am passionate about, animals. I love animals. We have animals here. If all they want is animals, I can offer that. We've got guinea pigs, we've got goats, pony, sheep, chickens, all sorts of things. So if a kid doesn't have a pet at home, I can give them that. I'm passionate about sustainability and recycling and zero waste. I can offer that here. I'm passionate about outdoors and nature. I can offer that here. Healthy eating. I can offer that here. So basically all the things that I love, I'm doing. So just because I love it doesn't mean that everyone else is going to love it. So I don't push it. And the clients that come to me and the groups that come to me, they're coming to me because they are seeking this and they are wanting it. And that's kind of what I want. I don't want to get big and push it yet.
It's
anyway.
a big problem for every small business though. We start a small business because we're passionate about something.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep going. And the chances of losing the passion because it's just nonstop are so high.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why small business actually closed the doors.
And I think that's why because a lot of people are saying, oh, you're getting so busy or you could take on more clients or you could do this full time. Are you thinking about leaving your other job? No, I'm actually not thinking about leaving my other job. I love my other job and they work well together. Most of my clients actually come from the school where I work and the groups that come out and visit come from the school where I work and the kindy where I work and they work really well together. The other thing about going to a job every day that you aren't responsible for, you can rock up, you can do your work and you can leave at the end of the day and you're part of a team. So in my other job, I'm part of a team. EcoPlay, as much as I absolutely love it, it's me. I set up, I plan, I execute the program, I pack up. It is a lot of work for me. I love it, but it's me.
The buck stops with you.
Who do I debrief with at the end of the day? My mum's amazing. She's my number one volunteer and cheerleader. So I will have a debrief with her. But yeah, I really enjoy working in a team as well. So I'm going to, as long as I possibly can, try and keep the two going.
So you
yeah.
don't have all your eggs in that one basket.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is the thing, like, we'll just go back to, you have 3 different jobs, a family, they're grown adults, but they all live on the property.
Never going to leave. Why would you?
You don't want them to.
I don't
That's
want
the
to
whole
leave
thing.
what you
don't want them.
created.
You're
You
making
know,
it
yeah.
so perfect
for
for them
them
that
to-
they never want to leave.
You work in your
don't want them
husband's
to.
business. He works away. So you sort of run the hobby farm too. You have to go get feed. You go and collect the eggs and feed out every day. You make sure the property is watered. You've got so much
Oh my
going
gosh,
on.
I'm so
and
putting-
then you're doing this too in your own time. And you've got so much that you do. And like you said, okay, it's, you're not doing it for the money, but it is time. It's taking time away from even just you going for a walk or to the gym. I know she also fits that in. She's incredible. I don't know how she does this, but anyway, you're giving your time for something you're so passionate about, and all you're wanting in return is that you just get so much out of it, seeing these children have opportunity that they wouldn't necessarily have. So it's amazing that we still have people like you in this world that just give and give and give, even when they really don't have a lot
Oh
to
my
give.
goodness. Thank you so much. That's too much. But
It's all
thank
true,
you.
though.
No, thank you. All right. I need to talk about Kenny, and then that's probably.
And what about your therapy?
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay.
we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
got to
Oh,
that
we haven't
either.
got to that either. Okay. I've been studying the Bachelor of Education for feels like 100 years. I think I started 6 years ago. Because I work in a school and I do support work, but I'm not a teacher, a couple of people have said to me, oh, you should be a teacher. And teachers do earn double what SSOs earn, so the money would have been nice. I am approaching 50 next year, so I don't really think I want to be starting out a brand new career, certainly not as a full-time teacher. Less and less want to be a teacher. I have a diploma in early childhood and a diploma in OSH, but so I'm about 70% of the way through my bachelor. That's beside the point. Play therapy is quite a new field. So everybody knows occupational therapists, speech therapists, physiotherapists, but there is this play therapist. I'm an affiliated member of the Australian Play Therapy Association, registered, I'm insured, I've got all the checks. I've got one more assignment to finish with play therapy. I'm very cheap because I still need to finish my course. But yeah, play therapy, it's new. It is a bit of a grey area as far as NDIS funding and things like that. It changes daily. I've got to keep up to date with all of that because it changes all the time. So yeah, I can take on clients here with NDIS plans. Most of the clients I have here, the one-on-ones actually do have NDIS plans for various reasons. Yeah, ASD, ADHD, intellectual delay, physical disabilities, lots of different things. I can cater for all of that. But my play therapy is unique because I've been looking at lots of different play therapists, and I drove past a place, I won't say where it is, in town recently on a main busy road, play therapy. And it was like an old house with a sign out the front, a driveway, no garden, play therapy. And I thought, oh, that doesn't seem appealing to me. This space up here, animals, views, nature, outdoors. I've got this room that we're sitting in right now. We don't really come in here. We come in here to cook if we need to use the kitchen and use the toilet, or if it's pouring with rain or boiling hot and we need to come in and read a book or do a puzzle or something. But my play therapy is outside in nature. I think that's quite unique. I don't think there are many play therapists out there that are offering nature play. So yeah, that's sort of my little edge. It's nature play. If we're going to make something, we use nature. If we're going to have food, we sit outside in nature.
And the kids love it and the teachers love it too.
And even
Who
cold,
doesn't?
wet days. Who doesn't love a bonfire?
Exactly. And that's another thing. It's cold, wear a jacket. It's
Yeah.
raining, well, we put your gumboots on.
Yeah.
Like, it's water. What's going to happen?
we
You get wet?
We got to harden the kids up a little bit.
Don't be a pussy.
Someone said that to me at work the other day. I was having a whinge and they turned around and said, don't be a pussy. Just what?
They
Because
probably
someone-
listened to
No,
our
they did.
podcast.
They were referring to the podcast.
Yeah.
It works in any scenario. But that's the thing. Kids are so precious these
Yeah,
days
they
because
are.
parents are so precious these days. Oh, it's raining. You're going to get wet. Get inside.
You'll
Oh,
catch
it's hot.
pneumonia.
You might get sunburnt. Get inside. Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't climb that tree. You might fall out and hurt yourself. Like, seriously, get outside. So I'm trying to, maybe Cassie will do it because I'm not good at advertising or pushing it, but that's kind of my edge, I think. It's play therapy, but it's outside. It's not in a little room with IKEA cubes with a few little toys and puzzles and, you know.
Yeah.
And all my play therapy training that I've done so far, they talk about resources. They're talking about dolls' houses and Play-Doh and puzzles
'cause they
and
got
little
that at home,
plastic
right?
things and little toys from
Yeah.
Kmart. And I did a whole assignment on resources and I'm like, oh, no,
Leaves
no,
and-
exactly. Dirt,
Well, that's
clay,
it. And
rocks,
they don't have
feathers.
Kenny in their backyard.
And they don't have Kenny. All right, let's just talk about Kenny. So Kenny, the goat, this all happened at the same time. Kenny may be the driving force behind eco-play, or eco-play may be the driving force behind Kenny.
It's
I'm
definitely
not sure.
a pivotal moment.
Pivotal moment was rescuing Kenny. So
Yeah, tell us the story of that. I love
Because-
that one.
when did this all happen? Yeah. So after the COVID and the mandates and me not being able to work for a while, that would have been when I got Kenny and that would have been when I started this. So they worked well together, Kenny and eco-play. I knew that I wanted to have kids here. I wanted to offer animal-assisted therapy and nature play. Then I went for a weekend away with my husband who works away, and he was up in Morgan staying in the caravan for weeks and weeks and weeks. He was only home a couple of days a fortnight. One of the weekends he was away, he said, why don't you come up to Morgan and spend the weekend in the caravan? And he goes, I'm going to take you to this pub. It's really cool. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's called Mount Mary. It's like going back in time. It's in the outback. You'll love it. And so anyway, we drove up there. I don't know how long it takes to get to Morgan. A couple hours maybe, an hour and a half. Anyway, it's really not that far. And he only had a couple of hours because he had to get up at 5 o'clock and go to work on the Sunday or whatever like he normally did. But he said, you know what, I'll start later and we'll have breakfast together. So we went to Mount Mary pub for dinner and I thought, he really doesn't know me that well if he thinks I'm going to love this because there's like deer heads on the wall. I'm vegetarian. On the menu was goat pot pie,
Oh my
goat curry. But he's, no, I checked out the menu. I think they do like a mushroom something, which is really sweet. Just looking around. It's like
Your worst nightmare.
It's not me. Anyway, we met some friends there. He was right. There was a mushroom something. It was delicious. Had a couple drinks sitting in this bar. Next minute, I hear this like, cute little noise. I'm like, what is that? Where is that noise coming from? Go out into the front bar. Nah. I think I went out to the toilet and it's getting louder and louder. I'm like, where is that coming from? Underneath the pool table in a little cage is this little white goat. Tiny little white goat. It was so cute. And I was thinking of getting goats for this business that I was about to start up. And I said to the publican, what is the story with that little goat? Now, I think its mother was shot. A lot of people go up to Morgan and shoot goats. So that's where you get
They're
a
a
lot of
pest,
yeah,
though,
yeah,
right?
they are actually a pest. And a lot of the Italians go up to Morgan because they do use it in their pasta dishes. And a lot of Middle Eastern people go up there and they do use it in their curries. So if you want goats, go up to Morgan or Mount Mary. They're everywhere. Kenny's mother, I think, and he must have got away and somebody found him snuggled up near a tree or a fence post or something. Little baby, he could have died. Brought them into the pub because that lady was a bit of a rescue. I'm not sure because she also had goat pot pie and goat curry on her.
I think she was maybe going to grow in for the pie.
yeah,
but
because she had goats out the back. So Kenny was going to be a pie or a curry for sure. And I looked at this gorgeous little goat and thought, that is not your destiny. You are not going to be a pie. You're going to come home with me. How I was going to make that happen, I don't know. I was staying in the caravan with Nigel that night. He didn't want a goat in the caravan.
why not? What's wrong with him?
But
Does he know you at all?
no. So I asked if I could hold the goat. She put some milk in a beer bottle, which is hilarious because this is way off topic. But when I was little and I went to England with my family and I was still having bottles of milk, my mum forgot to pack the bottles. And so they used a Piccolo champagne bottle for that entire England trip with a tea on top. And that was my milk bottle. So when I saw Kenny having milk out of a beer bottle with a tea, I'm like, oh, that's so funny.
Full circle.
Yeah, exactly. So I fed him, I held him, and I thought, right, he's coming home with me. I have to have this little goat. And that's where Kenny started. And he did come. But I said to her, oh, we're staying in the caravan. Oh, she charged me $200 for it.
Oh my!
Well, he could have made a lot of pies for her. Come on.
She
okay.
actually charged you.
Yeah, that's
for it.
okay. So I'm like, Nigel, can you just give this lady $200 for this goat? And he's, oh my gosh. And again, is this going to impact my life or affect me? No, not at all. And so she said I could come back and get him the next day. So I did. So stayed in the caravan for the night. We had a breakfast. He went off to work, said goodbye. I wasn't going to see Nigel for another couple of weeks. Go back to Mount Mary. At this point, I'm having a few regrets. I've given her $200 for this wild feral goat.
You have
Having
to
a few
get it
regrets.
back in your car.
Yeah, my nice new car. He stinks. He absolutely stinks. He
Aw.
pees on himself. I get him. I hop in the car, burst into tears. What the hell have I done? All the way back to Woodside.
Out of happiness or sheer regret?
Regret. Oh, and this is where the name Kenny
See, I
came
love the
from.
honesty.
So leave Mount Mary, cry just all the way back to Morgan. What am I doing? He's peeing, he's barring, he's pooing. I think I've made a big mistake here. Call into a roadhouse for a coffee. I think it's called Kenny's Roadhouse. I do know that the man who runs the roadhouse is called Kenny because my friend who I work with used to live in up that way and she went to school with Kenny who runs the roadhouse. This lady said his name was Gary. I didn't like that. And I'm waiting for my coffee. I'm looking at this man thinking, I wonder if that's Kenny, my friend's friend from high school. And Nigel always talks about Kenny's Roadhouse. And then I'm like, oh, Kenny, that's the perfect name. Get back in the car. Your name's Kenny. Drive back to Woodside.
Oh, stinky.
Yeah.
You're now Kenny.
He was so stinky. My car stunk. Got back home. My kids were all here. My adult kids. Instantly fell in love with him. We bathed him. We love him. The rest is history, really. But we just love him so much.
Want to hear the rest,
Oh,
though?
okay. So
There's a book and all.
there is
right?
a book, isn't there?
It's been a journey for Ken.
Okay, so then the time comes when that mandate drops and I'm allowed to go back to work. Actually, I was allowed to go back to work after term 1 of 2022, but my daughter needed some major craniofacial surgery, which kept getting postponed because of the situation that was going on in the hospitals and because she wasn't vaccinated. So we weren't, anyway, that's another story. But I had to wait until 6 months before I could go back to work. Firstly, I wasn't allowed back. Then when I was allowed back, I had major surgery, so I needed a lot of time off. So I went back after 6 months. By then I had Kenny and I was in a class with a teacher. She's amazing. And she was like, I was telling her about Kenny and she's like, just bring him in. You should bring him in and show the kids. And I thought, I don't know if I'll be allowed to do that. We just didn't ask. I just one morning rocked up to it with Kenny.
Classic.
Stuck him in the back door of her classroom and all the kids got to bottle feed him out of a beer bottle. That's pretty inappropriate. I did actually take
you
that.
still had the beer
I
bottle?
still had the
Oh,
beer
that's
bottle.
brilliant.
So I don't know what they were, receptions or year ones, all in a circle feeding Kenny out of a beer bottle.
So
Sorry.
Australian.
Sorry about
They've
that.
gone
So
away
Aussie.
from all of that.
Yeah.
They all hand fed him grain. They all fell in love with Kenny. So that's sort of how Kenny got introduced into the school, I think, because really just that class, they knew Kenny. And then they would have later that year maybe come out here for one of my unofficial, because I still wasn't fully set up with EcoPlay, but unofficial days and met Kenny, whatever. But the book and the toy, that year, I think it was Christmas Eve, I was at a family thing going, banging on and on about Kenny. He's amazing. He's the best pet I've ever had. I love him. He's soft, blah, blah. He's gorgeous. And I think it was my sister-in-law was like, oh my gosh, you should write a book about him. I was like, you know what? I will write a book about him. As a joke. And I was just going to write a funny little book and give it to my nephew and nieces because I've got photos of them with Kenny. So I just kind of made a funny little book about Kenny with my nieces and nephews in it. But I thought it needs a story rather than just photos of Kenny. So
We're going to read that book.
oh my goodness, I'm not reading it. You can read it. But please know it did start as a joke. It wasn't meant to be serious. It was just a bit of a family joke because if anyone knows me, if you tell me to do something, I am going to do it. And someone
We're
said,
a
write
bit
a book. So
stubborn
I
like
will.
that, aren't we?
About you.
Okay, Tina, you read
So
the
the
book.
message,
Oh.
though, we have to say about the message.
Yeah, so
Kenny's
it is.
message.
It's actually it's not a made up story. It's a real story because I looked at photos that I had on my phone of Kenny, and thanks to Tina's advice, actually, I got an app that turns photos into cartoons. So I looked at all the photos I have on my phone, turned them into cartoons, put it into a little book and thought, right, now I need to make a story. But I didn't make a story up. It's actually a true story. And the message resonates with me so much and everything I am about here, especially our eco play, and just me as a person. I like to think, I hope. So this is it.
It's Kenny and Friends, and it's a non-fiction children's story about kindness. And one of the very cool things before I even start the story is the kids at school, when someone's being mean, they say, what would Kenny do?
That's so true. Yeah.
Meet Kenny. Kenny lives with his friends on a little farm in the hills. Kenny's friends are Sadie, Angelina, Charlie the pony, Polly the sheep, Lily the duck, Remy the dog, and Fergus the rabbit. Kenny is also friends with hens in the pen and the fish in the pond. Kenny is the kindest little goat you will ever meet. Kenny shows his friends how to be kind to each other, be kind to themselves, be kind to their world. Kenny can teach us too. Kenny is kind to his friends when he plays with them. He shows kindness by sharing and helping others too. Kenny and friends are kind to themselves by exercising and eating good food. They enjoy their baths and get plenty of sleep. Kenny cares for nature and respects the environment. Kenny and friends do not like rubbish. They eat all food scraps so nothing goes to waste. Did you know that pony, chicken, and even goat poop is good for our gardens? It helps boost our vegetable harvest for all to enjoy. We could all be more like Kenny and his friends, sharing our kindness wherever we go and making our world a better place. If you can be anything in the world, be kind. By Lauren Melling.
That's so
Love it.
weird to hear you read that, but it's such a simple message. If you can be anything in the world, be kind. And those three little things, yeah, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, but then what's really important to me, be kind to the world. And yeah, so like I didn't make the story up. I just matched words to pictures I already had of Kenny. And then comes the little soft toy. So after that, my son and I were out somewhere and we saw books and toys that matched. Oh, we need a Kenny toy. And then he's so good at that sort of thing because he's had several e-commerce businesses and has contacts everywhere. So he's right. Let's design a little goat that looks like Kenny and we'll get them made. And with the books and the toys, I'm like, I really just wanted a book for my nieces and nephews for Christmas. I didn't want lots of books, but to make it viable, you sort of have to order like 50 at a time. And I thought, great, I'm going to start with 45 Kenny books for the rest of my life. But actually, that's my second batch. So I've ordered 100 and that's all I've got left. And then the Kenny toys, same things. You have to get 50 minimum because they're coming from overseas. And oh God, I'm going to start with 45 soft Kenny toys. I think I've got maybe 5 or 6 Kenny toys left. So they've been, yeah, it's been successful. Mostly kids at school or my play therapy clients. A lot of my nieces and nephews and friends and family, you guys have been amazing. Tina sold them in her shop, which is amazing, very supportive. But yeah, I don't know if I'll continue with the books and toys, but it just tied in so perfectly with the business idea. And it brings me so much joy. I got a photo from a friend the other day, her little daughter fast asleep in her bed, cuddling Kenny.
Well, they're all over the world.
Yeah, I've got
right.
them in Pakistan, in England, America, Spain, and then all around Australia. And I actually forget that Kenny is out
so
there
much
spreading
out into
kindness.
families and different
Ethnicities.
Yeah.
ethnicities.
So I got a little bit of a problem at the moment because the book's all about kindness and Kenny, I don't know, he's got a bit too much testosterone at the moment and he's not being overly kind and he's being a little bit pushy. And then when you were reading that, I was looking at Kenny's friends. I'm like, oh dear, she's passed on, and that one got taken by a fox, and that one's passed on.
Some of Kenny's friends haven't made it.
Suddenly, that non-fiction children's story is maybe a little bit fictional now.
But that's part of life too.
Yeah.
Though,
something else the kids need to learn too.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Kenny. That's eco play. I think I've covered most things.
You know what I want you to do at the end is the poem. I think that is the perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Is there anything else we want to cover before?
I think that's enough. I'm just looking around this room here. I actually am a little bit overwhelmed because you see things like the kids from the kindy making posters about Kenny and how they can be kind like Kenny.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that's another thing. It's not about a business or money or me getting, me being known. It's just about being kind and being good people and living a wholesome life and being healthy. And and I think because it's coming from that place, I'm on the right track. I'm on the right path. And if
absolutely.
I get off that path, I'll lose what it was all about.
Yeah.
And myself. So the poem, I don't know. Is it a bit brutal?
No.
Okay. I've tried to soften it, and I would soften it a bit more. I was sort of coming out all guns blazing like, we've ruined kids and they're all diagnosed with this.
It's because you're passionate about it though, Lauren. We can all be gung-ho sometimes when we're super passionate about things that we see that upset us or frustrate us that we want to change or help with. So that's completely understandable. You're just being a human being with a lot of compassion.
I'm a bit embarrassed. So I wrote the poem. I've used photos of eco-play stuff, and then I was just going to get it kind of AI narrated. But then I thought, I need to narrate it. I wrote the poem. I need to narrate it. I hate my voice. I cringe. So I'm sorry.
For someone who hates their voice, you've talked an awful lot. You have a podcast? You know that involves talking, right?
Just because I hate my voice doesn't mean I shut up.
Yeah, we know. We know.
I'm so sorry about this.
I'm surprised we got a word in, Tina.
I know.
Joking.
It's all true. It's all true. All right, I think I'll press play and I think it'll go, but no, I may soften it a little bit more before I put it out there.
So you've recorded yourself narrating
I've recorded myself narrating
it. Beautiful.
We'll see. No one's really heard it yet. Here we go.
Let them run and let them play. When I was young, the world was wide, with grassy hills to roll and slide. We built our castles out of sticks, mud and water made our bricks. Dandelions, yellow, bright. There were no screens, no rules so tight. No one asked us to refrain from puddle jumping in the rain. Windy days meant kites were flowing. In the sunshine, seeds were sown. Nature was our school each day, often wild and rough with play. We fell from heights, we scraped our knees. It never stopped us climbing trees. There's healing in the earth we tread, and wisdom where the wild things spread. Now children sit, their minds confined, imaginations left behind. No more eyes with wonder's spark, or glowing cheeks from dawn to dark. They fidget, twist, and yearn to roam, because their hearts are calling home. But home is not rooms or silent screams. It's sun, it's clouds, it's grass so green. We ask them all to be the same, to fit one mould, to play one game, with labels, boxes, charts to track. We sort and file, we hold them back. The cost of this is theirs to pay if we don't let them run and play.
Tina
We're both crying. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, Lauren. Tina,
You weren't meant to cry. I'm embarrassed.
That's the first time we've heard that. That is
I read it
unbelievable.
before. I think you had
I think I must have wrote it and sent it to you, but not recorded it.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's so powerful.
I just in tears.
Oh, sorry. And there I am thinking it's a bit brutal. I did soften it. I mean, I don't mean that there are no children out there with a wondrous spark in their eye. I don't mean that at all. It's just compared to where we were and where we are now, that's kind of how
We're
I
crying
feel.
because it's so true and it hits home.
Absolutely.
And we're at a crisis point now, and it's if we don't do something now, what's going to happen? But anyway, there you go. I wasn't meant to make it.
Oh my goodness.
And that says everything about what Lauren's doing. And we're so proud of you, Loz. We need more people like you in the world. We can't thank you enough
Oh my goodness.
for the work you do and how much you care, and the compassion and the drive you have for it is super inspirational. And I guess that's why we keep you around. We love you so much. Thank you, Loz.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the live chat. We don't want to offend anyone. We're not experts. We're just talking about personal opinions, and we want you to live your life and make your own decisions.
Kind of covers everything. Yeah, that's it.